let you share, who you are, what you do, and how it can help marketeers. But before we get started, Rebecca, just briefly introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and how you can help the businesses.
Sure. So one of the things I loved about photography was marketing. But one of the things I realized my friends and colleagues who are also photographers about marketing is that pretty much all of them hated it. So when I was thinking of leaving photography, I kind of went, well, that would be a good idea. And so I've done websites and I've done all sorts of things, but I've ended up mostly doing social media marketing as strategy for people. So it's a lot of social media, but also if you want to build marketing that doesn't include social media, I can help you do that. So I basically provide structure for businesses, generally one-person businesses or one person with maybe a small team. And it's helping you find the social media or the other marketing plan that you need, that you actually like doing. So it's so that you'll get on and actually do it in order to support your business. So that's where I come in. And I also do Canva templates and things. And I've just done a social media planner for Notion, because again, it's that kind of structure that helps you out as a small business person and makes your life easier.
So basically, in a nutshell, you help people be more productive, save time, and make more money.
In marketing, yeah.
Cool. So we're going to talk about Notion today. And you're an expert on it. So take it away and see how you can help businesses or marketeers use this. Well, apparently, I've heard it's really good and it's amazing. So let's see what it can do.
I don't know that I'm an expert, but I'm certainly been working with it for probably 6 months now and really got into it. But I think it's kind of useful to be at the beginning where I'm not so far into it that I can't explain. If you're beginning, I can totally relate to that. But certainly I've built templates out because that's the easiest way of jumping into it. Someone else has built the structure for you. You can just get in and learn and kind of just run your business or run that section of your life that you kind of want to. So I've put together a presentation. We're going to go for sharing screen.
Okay, it's popping up.
There we go. And here we go. Lovely. So there we are.
Yeah.
So that's me. And I've basically got a bunch of screenshots and things from today that will help take us through, get you an idea of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And just bear with us while I switch to the next one. So just a quick introduction on it, what it looks like, how we can use it, how it might fit in with your time management systems, any costs, because actually it's like a freemium model. So where costs might kick in for you if you want to start out using the free one, how I use it, and my details at the end. So first of all, Notion is essentially an everything product. It's a software as a service. It's a freemium productivity and note-taking app. It can help you run your life, track your projects, and keep all of those weird bits in one place. So the online world, it's just all there, and there's an app for your phone. You can have it on your iPad. You can also have it on your desktop, and that all syncs. So that means you can have your life with you. You can carry all sorts of, you can have your shopping lists in there. You can have your to-do lists. You can be inspired and have notes. So it's all there in that one place, which most of us are out and about a lot of the time anyway. We kind of want that. So this is probably the list view. It's the most basic kind of thing that we have. This is my social media planner and calendar. I've got some data in it, just a sort of mock up here. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that Notion has is databases. And this is an example of a database, and it's in list view. And we'll have a look at a moment in other views that we can have. So along the top, you've got a title that tells you what it is, easy to reference, and the whole thing's searchable. So you can go looking for it if you need to. It's also got a set of links underneath that. So you can go and click on to other views, other links, other things very easily with your, in your online. And This, for instance, has posts, what platform it's going to be on, what date you're going to send it out to, if it's being published or not, which these posts have been, and the goal of the content. You can add in any other kind of options that you want to have in there. It's a database. You can add in dates, you can add how long the task's going to take you, that kind of thing. So this is one view of the kind of thing that Notion will do.
So can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
That's in my mind. It's kind of like a Google Sheet or an Excel sheet on steroids, it looks like.
It's kind of like the whole of Google Suite, because you can have these databases, which you can use in a simple Excel kind of spreadsheet way, but you can also have interrelational databases. So you can have one database that links into another. Okay. And that makes it incredibly powerful. If you've ever used anything like Airtable, it's got that capability, but as you'll see in the next couple of slides, it's got different views. So you can pull up the information in different forms, because often you want to look at things in different ways depending on where you are with them. So this is a master list is great. It says it has all the data all there, and you can reference anything you want. You can search, you can filter, you can do all those kinds of things. But also you can just have a blank page. You can just stick a text in it. You can put headings in it. It comes up formatted with, H1, H2, that kind of thing. Yeah. So if you're then pulling it back into something else, it has that very basic formatting in it. So it is like having, you can stick photos in there. You can have just text. You can have databases. You can use it as an Excel spreadsheet. So it's like the whole of Google Suite, really.
Nice. So if somebody, you mentioned earlier on about a checklist and a to-do list and stuff like that. If somebody's using something like Trello, Asana, Monday, or ClickUp, can they get rid of all of those other apps and just use Notion, or do they need to work in conjunction with Notion?
I think I haven't used ClickUp, but I've certainly used Trello and a number of the other things. Yeah. And it would replace those. I think the thing that the reason I actually gave up Trello to use Notion is because Notion has timelines if you want, and it will show things like it will show my tasks for the day. It will show the tasks for the week if I want it to. It'll show just today's tasks, so I can go somewhere else and find tomorrow's. And that kind of sorting and just pulling out the things, the information I want to look at in the moment, which most of the time is tasks, but I just want to look at a small sector so I don't get overwhelmed by all the things that are going on in my life, as most small business people are. And I just look at the thing I want to look at, but everything else is held and available to me should I want to look at it. And Trello just doesn't do that natively. There is a plugin, but the plugin actually costs more than the professional version of Trello, which is insane.
Yeah.
So it's you can use it as a replacement.
All right.
Here, for instance, is that same data that we were looking at a second ago in the list view as a calendar view. So if you want to just check mentally, do I have all my posts ready for the week, or did they go out, or did I actually send out posts last week? Here you go. Okay. And you can also look at it as a Kanban board view. So if, for instance, you are planning out your YouTube videos for the week, and you know what they're all going to be, but you want to sit down and write them all out to start with, you can say, right, here's my list of 6, off I go, and move it through the stages in the typical kind of Kanban way that you want to.
It's very flexible by the looks of it.
Yeah, and it's so easy to create. You basically hit a plus button, say, I want a different view. You call in the database where all the information's kept, and there you are. And you can filter it and move things around and sort it differently and hide columns if you want them to and stuff. Yeah.
So is it different to Airtable, or they are both pretty similar?
It's way more practical than Airtable. Before I used Trello, I used to use Airtable. Okay. And as much as I love Airtable, I used to get sort of overwhelmed, but also it was more difficult to kind of filter things out. Like you only really got it was just more difficult to use. And also Notion has things like its own documents. You just start a new page, you can put words in it, off it goes. And it's very easy if you do want to, like, you've got some thoughts, you want to write notes, it's a sub page inside some, maybe a task.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a task and you go, oh, I've got some ideas, you know, and you just not like note down the ideas, and they're saved, and they're saved in the right place. With Airtable, like, yeah, you can write more, but it's not really designed for that. And this is designed for, yeah, sure, put as many sub pages in as you want. You know, if you have a thing that says map out my December social media plan, you can start as many sub pages as you want, sit them inside there, and they're all nested, ready to go when you want to come back to that. And equally, because it's online, you can then share it with someone. So if you've got an assistant who you want to send the ideas off to go do the next stage, you can easily do that. You just send them the link.
So with the social images and post, you can pretty much create a post and save it over here and then schedule it as and when.
I don't know that you can schedule it. There are interactions.
No, what I meant was, like, this post is going to go on.
Oh yeah, this is going to go on Facebook on Friday at 3 o'clock, and I'll go over to Meta and schedule it. Yeah, totally. So you can also have a gallery view with your graphics in it, just to sort of check what you've got. And if you're a visual thinker, sometimes setting your world up like this, it's much easier to just look at the visuals because you remember them than it is to read through all the titles. So this is another way of displaying your information, but also to check if you've got visuals and check the variety, or check, you know, everything's where it should be.
And if you got a video, can you also embed it in the post that, okay, this is a post with a video in it?
You could. I don't know. There's a 5 on the free plan. There's like a 5 megabyte limit, so that might not work depending on the size of your video. But certainly you can put a link in, and it'll preview the link.
Sure. Okay.
So if you've got it stored somewhere else, yeah.
I mean, if it's a YouTube video, you can just link it over here, and it will display the thumbnail, I guess.
Yeah, I do that all the time. There's there's bits and pieces, YouTube videos that I reference a lot, and I actually embed them in pages and put them in a toggle, so they're tucked away. And then when I want to use them, there's a toggle heading, and I can play it inside Notion. Okay, cool. So I've got that reference there without having to wander off to Chrome or YouTube or wherever it is.
Perfect.
Okay, so here's some of the ways you can use it. So you can use it to manage your business. So all the things we've already talked about. You can also use for all your life admin, because if you're anything like the business owners I know, life and business is kind of mixed up together. So I also use it for meal plans, for shopping lists, for workouts, pretty much anything, you know, what kind of light bulb I need to buy for the hallway. Pretty much anything else I need to do, it goes in there. And everything's searchable. So if I go, oh, I can't remember where I ordered the light bulb from last time, I can actually search for light bulb, and up will come, you know, anything with that in it. So that's kind of useful. It also has a Chrome extension. So you can use that when you find something, you know, let's say you're looking for next month's social media posts and you see something, think, I must comment on that, or that's a great prompt for me to do something with it. You can just click the link, and the bookmark, the Notion bookmarker then says, hey, here's this link. What would you like to call it, and which page would you like to save it in? So again, you're saving it in the right place. So it's not in notes in your phone. It'll be saved into, let's say, your December social media project. Yeah. And that has been a game changer. You know, you're working on one project and you have all these ideas, you see all these things, whether it's YouTube links or Etsy links or something else. You've got everything there sitting in the right place ready for you. So yeah, it's I like it very much. Here's some of the time management approaches that I've used and I use bits of, and it works happily with all of them. So in the 90-day year, which is the Todd Herman kind of approach, which is virtually the same thing as the 12-week year, where you break your year down into quarters and you just concentrate on that, which can give you more productivity than working, you know, setting yearly goals. It works really well with that. within both those approaches, there's generally sprints, so 1 or 2 week period where you just concentrate on a couple of things to get them done and out the door and working for you. It works really well for that, again, because you can just pull out the bits that are relevant for those projects, and everything else is held in a different place that you don't have to look at, but you can reference if you needed to.
Okay,
The David Allen approach of getting things done has a section, for instance, which I use a lot, the kind of approach where you will group tasks that you do in different places. So all your phone calls or all your online, researchy kind of questions and that kind of thing. So you can easily put a tag in on your tasks to say phone or internet or, quiet time or whatever it is. So that works really well. That approach, and priority time management is also mapping things out in order of importance. So you can add a column that's order and put everything in order if you want and sort it by that. So it works with any kind of system that you've got for yourself, or even if you don't have a system, it still collects everything in the right place. And you can figure it out from there.
Okay, cool.
So one of the things you might want to think about, Notion starts out being free. So you can certainly get going with it if you're working on your own, and it's got pretty good capabilities. I'm still on the free one. I may, if I want more than 3 timelines, I might want to go into the paid, but at the moment I'm working on my own and it's doing everything I want. So there are also costs for AI. There's lots of AI options in there that you can use. I don't use it, but I can imagine that over time that might be something that does happen.
So the free plan does a lot, actually. It's not very restrictive in any way.
Yeah, it's probably similar to the Airtable version. So if you're working on your own for most things that organising your life and your business, the free one's probably going to do it for you. The moment you start having teams or wanting to use massive files or that kind of thing, then yes, there's going to be a cost.
Cool.
And also you can get templates for almost everything.
Everything.
So, yeah. So that's most. There are some free ones. There are also some paid. But if you're looking to budget for it, you might want to allocate some pricing for templates.
So the templates can save a lot of time.
Yes, a huge amount of time, because they can have all sorts of things kind of nested in and plugged in. Certainly templates is the way I've actually learned Notion the best, because someone else has put the structure in, and then you just start using it. Then you say, actually, I want this to look a little bit different, or I want this to work a slightly different way, and you customize it, yourself.
Cool. And you have some templates as well that you can talk to us
I
about.
do. I have a social media planner that you can get on my website, which is livingabstracts.com. So how I use it is I've replaced Trello, and I used to also use Daylight, and the people who managed Daylight changed who their ideal customers were, and I certainly wasn't one of them. So I needed to shift, and this is where I've ended up, and I'm really happy with it, because Trello just didn't quite do it for me. I use it for social media planning and posts. I kind of use it like a massive filing cabinet, although I haven't got everything shifted over from Trello yet. Task management for client work, I have like a project for each client, and I keep everything for that client inside there and all their tasks and things. But then the tasks, because I have them dated, they show up in my daily to-do list of whenever they need to. So there's that lovely, all the information is tucked off to one side, but things show up when they need to. And for monthly planning and that kind of thing, collecting ideas, it's amazing.
Nice, lovely, I mean, Trello is good. It's I used to use Trello a long time ago, but we've outgrown it. And I think Notion looks pretty good as to what you can do, because especially with all the social planning, social media planning and posts and stuff, that is a pain in the backside with so many images, text, assets, and all sorts flying around everywhere. You can keep
there's so many moving parts in that, and there's also so much overlap where you say have one post and you're going to share it in 3 places, but you need to customize the length of it and the hashtags and the image, and it's like that overlap is handled really well by this.
Nice.
And this is me.
Lovely.
This is me, LinkedIn, Living Abstracts, or my name. So did you have any other questions about Notion?
No, thank you so much. I'll give it a go and see how it is, and I'll probably get in touch with you and see how we can utilize Notion in our workflow. At the moment, we are using for our productivity workflow ClickUp. Slack is a big part of our workflow. And what else we use? ClickUp, Slack, these are the two. ClickUp is for our project management.
Yeah.
For social media posts, we're mostly relying on Google Sheets, and ClickUp as well. So all the posts and the images, they all stay in one place. It's kind of like a filing cabinet in there, and each post has got a folder with all the assets and everything in it. No, thank you so much. It was really intriguing and interesting as to how this little app, which I had heard so much about before, so just like it was like Airtable, I just couldn't get my head around it, and then I gave up on it. So I know it can be used quite efficiently.